Nice. Some cash. And it makes them sound like new. So that was interesting. Above, tarps flap in the wind, forgotten hammers and nails rust. What's this? The lock is rusty. You can't get in. The chair's new. Someone lives back there. So this is like a fenced off bit. Did I... Okay, we haven't... I see. So it's back in here. There's some more stuff in there. But it's worth coming out for the cash, because I always need cash. If you need to pass time, buy a book. Reading passes time quickly. That might be useful information. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. So is this like this place being trashed, has it? Broken window. I've got a book, 16 Days in Coldest April. Ah. Okay, let's take a look at this. Have I got a new tool? Oh, I've got some alcohol, that's right. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about two lovers during an ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism. In your hands you hold 16 Days of April, 16 Days of Coldest April, by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Feels heavy. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. They would do that in Grad. How long is the book anyway? You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realise, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. Let's look at the back cover. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. What does she look like? She can't be much older than the mid-30s in this photograph, and yet from the cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. Start reading. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturn motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armoured guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from TK to TK. I don't know what that means. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics. These events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalisation known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialised in art and literature. In excruciating detail, the author describes the socio-economic conditions that have brought the people of Yugograd onto the streets. Centuries of humiliations and despair, and then, during these riots, two young people meet. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? No, I won't subject myself to more Grad realism. You've made the right life choices today, sir. Put the book away. A bit of XP is enough. Oh, what's this? A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. Rub your sides for warmth. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20. Her face is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. The plan. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with a neighbouring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. Look around yourself. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. Are these actual plans they're looking at, or is this an image he's got as he looks around the room? It's like almost seeing what's gone down here in the past, I guess, or visualizing it, I think. She had an eye for beauty. Shiver, finished the thought. Interesting. The guitar was brand new, but they don't change strings when selling them. Oh, okay. You get them straight from the factory, you don't need to change it, but it really depends on the store. I guess if it's had a bit of like a demonstration in store, it's had a bit of use, eh? Well, the strings have anyway. You put heavier strings on, so boiling makes them thicker. The sea below looks cold and winter grey. Sounds it coming through the window. Someone has torn down the wall. Oh, okay, so this goes through here. What's on the table? An old grocery list is on the table and checks. Logic, what happened here? You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall. It'll still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here, except the stuff in the fridge. Indeed. What's in the fridge? Crap. Basically, just crap. So, we need to come back here later on. I don't think there's anything else I need to do in this hotel. Sorry, in this apartment. So, let's leave, I guess. Let's try the other door. There was another exit out the back, wasn't there? I need to go and see Kuno. I need to go and see Kuno and hand over his share of the drugs. Hey Goliath, how's it going? So that works now, and it looks like I can get in and out okay. That didn't lead to anything new, did it? That was the apartment. Can I just have a look? Oh, I need to go and tell that guy I've left his apartment open for his goons to go and beat up the guy inside. I think that's the plan. There's no quick way back around here. We haven't quite fully explored everywhere. We do have time. Let's have a quick run up here. Maybe I have explored everywhere. Wait, what's that? Looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. Okay, so this is a dead end. Fine. There's that strange buzzing noise again. I'm sure it's nothing here. It's very strange. Let's go and see our friend Kuno then. I can hear a ship's horn in the distance. It's probably very quiet on stream, that bit. I don't think I need to do anything here. We had a look down on the beach. Can't fall in there, can I? Can I make a running jump? Okay, let's get back. So what have you been up to, Goliath? Anything interesting? Any new games you've been checking out? I need to report back in sometime. Is that today? Let's go and see if I can report back in today. They were getting the lead on the armour, I think. Can't remember if we were on today or tomorrow for that one. Did you find more about the armoured boots? Not yet, but I was able to convince the database people to share private sector information. They promised to get back to me by tomorrow morning. Okay. Let's close the door. Kuno! Everard. We've got to go see Everard as well. Tell him I've left that door open. He'll give me a clue as to where my gun's gone. I need to go and see her later. There's lots of little jobs to do here.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
I took care of the drug situation. Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Kuno's kilo. He rubs his hands together. Here's how we do it. First, you give Kuno Kuno's kilo, then Kuno gives you half back. That's how we split it. It's the best way. Street way. Aren't you going to ask how I got past your dad? Word on the street is you sent your little friend in dressed as a hooker. Distraction style. That's some sick shit. He nods approvingly to Kim. Not a single muscle moves on the man's face. Kuno wants to hear all about it, but first we split the kilo. He leans in. Then we shoot the shit. Let's have a look. I'm keeping it. You don't need more drugs. You're 12. Mind you, he does have a lot to put up with. Fair is fair. Give Kuno the vial. Whoa, that's heavy. He waves a minuscule bottle around and slips it into his coat pocket. Nice. Leveled up. Excellent. Out comes another similar vial from the sock above his running shoe. Here you go. More than half in there. Kuno's honourable like that. There's no movement in the lieutenant's face as he stares intently at the trash container. Now tell me, why are you still alive, pig? Can Kuno, I met your dad. Yeah, you do some Sambo shit. Sneak in. He looks at the lieutenant. Is the hooker thing real? Sambo is an acronym for Samaran boxing. I'm glad that pointed it out because it sounded like some racist stuff to me. Graceful martial arts stuff, Sambo style, implies stealth, cleverness and cool. Just letting you know. Thanks, encyclopedic brain. Kuno, your dad is a half-dead alcoholic. He was sleeping under some clothes. What? His eyes become large and round. His posture changes. The swaying rooster motion stops for a second, and he gets it going again, reorienting himself. Right, Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum, he snaps back. Kuno told you. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything. Breaking and entering shit, that's nothing to Kuno's dad. You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. He points to himself. Kuno's violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window. Whatever scary thing he might have been, now he is nothing. Yeah, Kuno's dad is nothing. He pushes on bravely. Coma shit. Stroke shit. Kuno's dad is so violent he's had a stroke many times. Shit. Kuno's gonna have one too. Gonna be just like Kuno's dad. Speed shit, crime shit. Don't know what's going on in the bed. Kuno's gonna go out like Kuno's dad. Revachol West style. Stop saying all this sad shit, Kuno. The whisper comes smaller than usual. Kuno S. Is that a little sister or just a friend? We don't know. Probably not related, I think. What are you talking sad? The kid breathes in and out like a boxer. Kuno's got hard shit. He punches the air. Death shit. Nothing shit. You don't have to turn into that. Get your nun ass out of here before Kuno F's it dead. He punches the air again. F-wit. You think because you brought Kuno 1 gram of speed, you're friends now? Turn into... He pants from exhaustion. Kuno ain't turning into shit. Kuno is that shit. Kuno won. You won, Kuno. The relief is palpable. The little hat jumps up and down behind the fence. That didn't really work out as I intended. I don't know where this is going. I looked around in there. It's not the easy life you've got going on in that apartment. What do you know about Kuno's life? Kuno's got plans. Get out of here. Yeah, we got plans. We? Oh, it's we now, is it? 6 meters under the ground, below piping from the war, the collapsed remains of the Martinez storm drain system. There are 2 stolen flashlights with piles of batteries next to them, beside 2 bedrolls, in the dark, and opening into the lower tunnels. Is this... What is this shivers? Is this like my sixth sense or something going off? Or just like what I imagine to be going on? I don't know. I'll have to look at the skill. Actually, we can have a look at the skill and see. Is it in the psyche? Intellect? It's a physique one, so shivers. Raise the hair on your neck. Tune into the city. It's kind of like a Sixth Sense city vibe then, of what's going on. It's hard to describe that one. There's a textbook with your name on it in the apartment. Yeah, he turns even redder. So what? It says Kuno, not Kuno. Kuno de Reuter. Are you talking to Kuno about that kiddie shit? I like it, Kuno de Reuter. He's trying to screw you again. Get out of here. Kuno knows it's lame. That's why Kuno changed it. Kuno can change his name into anything. Gonna change my name. Don't change your name into that, Kuno. There were tons of unpaid utility bills there. Damn right there were. I wish I could just read this out as it was, but it doesn't go down on YouTube very well when I read all these words as they're written, F's and C's and everything else. Let's see. Let me guess. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about them. Find a job. Pay them yourself. Your dad can't handle these things anymore. Screw that shit. Kuno's going to move underground. La Royaume shit. Ancient shit. Kuno's going to live like in a catacomb. I wonder if he means the tunnels beneath the whirling in rags and the other buildings. Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno. The little one seems overjoyed at the prospect. Okay, let's just conclude this business. I don't think I've learned anything from that. I'm not buying his pants. He spits on the ground, yellowish, foaming spit. Now get out of Kuno's face. Kuno needs to drop the bomb. Okay, I'm off. Kuno doesn't care. That wasn't helpful at all. I thought that was going to make me more popular with him. But I think if anything, it might have backfired. I need to go and see Everard. Let's have a look at my tasks list a moment. Smoker on the balcony we come back to. Find the armoured gloves. Got to go to the fishing village. We need to listen to a tape. We need to buy something from the pawn shop, I think. We need to go back and see Classy upstairs. I've got a few questions for her. The murder weapon. We've opened the apartment door. We need to let Everard know. I never saw the thing. I never got to talk to the person who was playing the dance music in that in the apartments there. Okay. Okay. Let's go talk to Everard. Tell him about that door. I don't have any better solutions to anything just at the moment. Is this still thinking about kicking off? Somebody wants a fight. Let's go and talk to this fella up here. Tell him I've opened the door.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
That weasel I visited. Turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection. Oh, this goes on. Yeah, he nods, rubbing his chin. The janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Yeah, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the boss man said he's a real piece of work. He touches his berry. Thanks for helping out, friend. Oh, is that it? Okay, maybe I should have looked at the other options. I thought there was going to be a long conversation to be had there. And through the door. Is this? Yeah, this is correct. Is this a new clue? A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Somebody is habitually chilling next to the radio. There's a radio in here? Ah, but we can't play with it. A giant ass print, so someone big. Could be that bouncer guy who taught us the racist theory. I'm trying to think where's the correct way. Hang on, how do we get to... There's the guard hut. Okay, so it's not there. I'm trying to think how we get back to Everard's office. What we need is a telephone. That's what we need. There's also some container that I failed to open before, wasn't there? Where was that at? Ah, well, here we go. I'm starting to feel like the game's got a lot more running around back and forth at this point. Which is cool if things change.
Mr. Dubois, every worker?
He leans towards you, waiting for you to complete his sentence. For himself is a living god.
Mr. Dubois, so be it. How can I help you today?
His amusement seems genuine. I opened the door you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now? Task complete. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry, he says with a smile. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? He's trying to figure out if you're lying. I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs. Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel, he shakes his head. Pissing on Everard's Rainbow Coalition. He was testing you, and you succeeded. Look at those eyes. Those eyes are severely creeping me out. It's like they're going off in different directions, as if... What's that scene? Oh, Total Recall, the Schwarzenegger film, when the windows blow out on the station in Mars, and people get sucked out, and their eyes start popping out of their head with a lack of pressure and start sort of boggling around. That's what those eyes remind me of. Grim stuff. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. He pretends to roll up his sleeves. Real police work is going to start happening now, I promise you, Harry. This is going to be good. The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hangman's clothes. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? He grabs his head with both hands. You guys are just light years ahead of me. I don't believe him. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organisation. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people with the power of politics. I feel like he's playing me like a fiddle. I think he knows a lot more about all this than he's letting on. Yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder? Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. He shakes his head, laughing. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Oddly, it seems to be true. Really? But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel? Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. Great technique. You'd make a great sergeant. Would he? I'm not so sure about it, says Kim. Level up again. Excellent, we've got some skill points coming on here. Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. Notice how he's not demanded I sit down in the chair to talk to him this time. He chuckles. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Okay, yes. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. I'm listening. Harry, this strike is a culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. You mean our victim? He nods gravely. A security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. Is that really true? Because we already know that those Hardy brothers tried to frame that security guard for rape. I don't know what to believe on who to believe in this game. Let me know what you think, chat. He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun. Daka, 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 daka. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Sarah Marisa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company. Harry, everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. It already is a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Hold on, you have a village elephant? No, Harry. The elephant is metaphorical and so is the village. But the mercs and their brutality are very real. Go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. He laughs. That's quite handy, actually. A bit of a ride. Do they move the container? Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turned serious. The killers the company hired. I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. He shakes his head. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out in trees. By negotiator, you mean Joyce? Harry, he says, ignoring the lieutenant, what you need to realise is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighbourhood does. Push us hard enough, and we push back. And when we do, he raises his finger. We push to kill. Wait, the whole neighbourhood is in on it? Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners. Tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. And who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labour, but peacekeeping in the neighbourhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. That sounds a bit like organised crime. They're like you guys, he nods to you and the lieutenant. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. Again, that sounds like organised crime. So these idealists killed our victim. One day, Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervour drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." I don't think so, somehow. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. He chuckles. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. He chuckles. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Is he lying, or is he telling the truth? I don't know about this. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. Oh, they're simply fine young men, all 7 of them. He's made an effort to say 7, not 8. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. He starts laughing. Gotta love his initiative. Ho ho ho. Interesting. Who's second in command? They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. You mentioned a lawyer girl. Oh, Liz is a bright one. He grins broadly. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking I'll probably turn her all fancy, but hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. He slams his fist on the desk. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding, and I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. Sediment. The police people who looked into the armour that the mercenary was wearing did come back and say that it belonged to another mercenary company before this one, and that the company's name had changed. But I don't remember if it was Sediment. Sediment doesn't ring a bell. It might do to anyone else who's watched this, so let me know if that makes sense. I'm not going to go looking back for it now. I'll see what happens. So you believe the scabs were organised by the security contractor? It makes sense, because that guy leading the scabs didn't look like a regular worker. You said it. Hell, the fist slams on the desk again. One of these guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. The name of the company is Krenel this time. It might have been Sediment before. Ah, okay. So that's my police background check that's come back. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. There was a bullet in the hangman's head. So they shot him? He sounds pleasantly surprised. He was shot in the head before he was hanged. How odd. The man shrugs. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. Hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard, so he has been seen in there. It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire. I don't know. Ever I met these Hardys, can you ask them to cooperate with me? But of course! It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. You can now go and tell Titus about this, see what he has to say. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. He holds out a banknote. Take it. I want the money. The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled. Hey, I'm not getting my wages. I need to pay the rent. Good boy, a real team player. He rubs his hands together. Now, do you have any more questions? Good talk. Let's conclude for now. Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him, but it's like I can't completely trust you yet.